Hey guys, it's me, Commander Quarters Imperial Brother, Basic Lands Benny. Today I bring to you what would have been a $50 deck tech if it weren't from me having brain damage. The commander here is Kresh The Bloodbraided. He's here so you can cast him. That's all the interaction we do with him in this deck. The most common idea I had when making this deck is to abuse the Undying and Persist mechanics, like Flare of the Hatebound. Undying, when he dies, you can return to the battlefield with a 1-1 counter, and then if he dies again, and has a 1-1 counter, he goes straight to the graveyard. And then Murderous Redcap, which has Persist, once I find him. When he enters the battlefield, he deals damage equal to his target, similar to Undying, but instead it's 1-1, -1/-1 counters. And so, in order to kind of maximize our value with these creatures with the Undying and Persist, we're going to use cards like Oozeflex for 2 mana to remove one or more +1/+1 counters among creatures you control, put an XX green ooze on creature token onto the battlefield, where X is the number of 1/1 counters created this way. And then the other card is going to be, I must find it, Chainbreaker, there. For 3 mana and a tap, you can remove a -1/-1 counter from target creature. So let's just say Thou Brethren, a Thunderbolt has just died. So he dies, comes back as a 6/1. You can tap 3 mana and tap Chainbreaker in order to remove the -1/-1 counter. Or Flare of the Hatebound dies. You can pay 2 mana, remove the -1/-1 counter to ensure that he stays alive way longer than he's supposed to. We have cards like Open the Graves. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie. Moldavine Reclamation. Whenever a creature you control dies, gain 1 life and draw a card. And then cards like Flame Shadow Conjuring. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay red. If you do, put a token that's a copy of it on the battlefield. It has haste, exile at the beginning next end step. This one is so you can have like an additional copy just to swing with, just so you can maximize the amount of damage you have. And I don't know whether or not it counts as dying if the creature dies. No, it says put in graveyard, so you wouldn't get the token, but still, with the tokens, you'd be able to kind of maximize damage. In order to make sure that we're able to have our creatures die, we've got a lot of sacrifice outlets, like Bloodsoaked Altar, pay 2 life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, which may seem like a steep price, but you are able to create a 5/5. Black Demon creature token with flying. Another one is Astronaut's Altar, Spawning Pit, Recto's Knife. Yeah, whatever. There's one down here, and like Culling Dials or Claws of Gix. It's just to guarantee the fact that you can sacrifice it if you're in a situation where you're incapable of swinging. When the creatures die, if we don't have a way to remove the 1/1 counters, we've got stuff like Footsteps of the Goryo, Nature's Spiral. Anything else? Omen of the Dead. It's a pretty good one. I think for 1 mana, bouncing a creature back to your hand is pretty good. A few of these cards I added just for jank, like they don't really do much, but I like them. Tool Nature, whenever a creature card comes into play, its controller puts a token that's a copy of it. So this token you're pretty much going to be able to sacrifice for a mild comeback. Like this guy, you could probably sacrifice a token to put in the Bloodsoaked Altar. So maybe play let's just say this guy. Oh yeah, I like him. Sorry. You play him, get a copy of him, sacrifice him to Bloodsoaked Altar, get a 5/5. This guy, I think, is just pretty cool. Doesn't really need to be here either. Forgot about him actually. I think he's just pretty funny. Uh, 1/1 counter and crush. Another one that is kind of there just cause is non-basic land walk. Non-basic lands are really common in Commander, so I just thought it'd be cool to pretty much just have a 2 unblockable for 2, which is actually rather quite common. Unlike most of the decks I have, this deck actually has removal. It has cards like Worse Murder, Actual Murder, Artifact Murder, and Artifact and Enchantment Murder. I think we have a creature that can do that too, yeah. Lots of sacrifice outlets. Some of these can do more than others. There's no combos in this deck. It doesn't really play jank, but it's just synergistic. So I guess I think I just made up that word. If you have like a really chill play group. Also, I'm running non-basic lands in this deck. Probably going to be winning by hitting hard with Kresh, because he'll get really large real fast. But if you have Great Earthshade and you're not top decking any sort of removal, you're going to have to reside to a more permanent solution. Now for this quick deck tech, you're going to need a under the desk gun. And so what happens is someone plays Silent Gravestone, you pull out the under the desk gun and you shoot them. If they're dead, they cannot respond to you ignoring Silent Gravestone or anything like that. Bajuka Bog, I can't think of much else. I think that's all. Some of these cards are just here, man. That's just how I like playing Commander. They just do be some cards, not gonna lie. Power Conduit allows you to put a 1/1 counter. I mean, sorry. Remove a counter from a permanent control for free, which I think is quite cool. Pretty cool Kanye for 0 mana. Gonna be a really easy way to remove counters. To be honest, you could probably just resort to flickering to avoid those counters. Decimator Beetle allows you to distribute those -1/-1 counters from creatures you control to other creatures. I think it's a pretty consistent deck. Towards the bottom of the curve, you're going to have a lot of really small undying creatures or ramp. This one's not really ramp, but it allows you to pretty much make sure that you have land on top of your deck. Cards like this are actually really strong because you have to bring them to the battlefield, right? And you have to sacrifice it. But the issue is when you sacrifice it, it just comes back with like a persist counter or undying counter. So that allows you to keep going. Really think the message is already sent. Really don't know what else to talk about. Let's just scroll through the deck real quick to see if I forgot anything. Some of these cards are just really funny. 5 mana, sacrifice a creature. So pretty much you get to trigger somebody's persist ability. Choose a creature card from your graveyard, return that card and the sacrifice card from the graveyard to the battlefield under your next upkeep. You don't really actually have to worry about that return thing. Maybe if you need to kind of reset your creature because you don't have access to something else. Most of your enchantments are just enter the battlefield, leave the battlefield. This is a pretty good one. Return all creatures that were sacrificed this way, so pretty much you could sacrifice your whole board state to Ashnod's Altar, or Ashnod, yeah, pretty much just sacrifice your board state to Ashnod's Altar, and then do this and just get them all back. I guess it's to your hand. This is a pretty solid enchantment. It's just kind of, the video is like slowly decreasing energy. This is the tutor. You can sacrifice some clues. Looking for the last thing I was trying to talk about. Oh yes, this is where it is. Whenever a creature with toughness 4 or greater is put in your graveyard from the play, you may remove it from the game. At the end of turn, if you have 3 more cards that are being removed from the game from collector's turn, sacrifice it. If you do, return those creatures into your play. So let's just say you want to get rid of a lot of creatures. Sacrifice them. Maybe this guy. Does he say from graveyard? No. But it pretty much just allows you to guarantee that you are going to get this guy's back. I think that's all. Coming in at $70.23 at the time of me finishing it. Just a long time ago. Really don't know what else to tell you.